The attacks is simply on the roads of South Sudan is a tragedy. It is something that the government of the Republic of South Sudan does not condone. And it must be condemned by everybody. The region, the IGAD, members of the international community should condemn these attacks. Because attacks are like somebody, whether being in the US or in Britain or in France or elsewhere in the world, when you attack innocent people that are doing their own businesses on the street, and there's nothing to do with any issue of war, then that tantamount into terrorism. And definitely those who have committed these crimes must be condemned. We had arrangements with the government of Uganda. And this arrangement is that from the Ugandan side, they provide escorts up to the border. And then from South Sudan border, it is actually we, or the forces of the Republic of South Sudan, should provide that escort. And indeed, that is what has happened. The government of South Sudan provided this escort from Nimule to Juba. And that's why for some times you did not heard of any attacks on the road. But it is just apparently that it happens because rebels are not listening. The President of the Republic of South Sudan has committed that the peace in South Sudan should return. These rebels are not really the IO, all of them as people group them. They are specifically rebels that IO belongs to Dr. Riek Machar, who is exiled now in South Africa. But yes, country to country can make an agreement. You see, a country is a sovereign country. If South Sudan decided that we wanted to invite the Ugandans to come in and be part of it, and after all, we have been together as brothers and sisters in this kind of situation, even during the liberation struggle. It is not something that is new to anybody. No, it's not a waste of time here because recently in Uganda we met with some rebel groups here. These are people who dedicated themselves that they wanted to go back to South Sudan because they've seen that this war is really meaningless. We negotiated, and some of them have now gone back to South Sudan. They have returned back to South Sudan, especially those from Ye River states. They have gone back and they are mobilizing more of these rebel groups that are aligned to Dr. Riek Machar to go back to South Sudan. Because really, this is not a war that people call a war. This is a war of greed, a war that does not help anybody. But we are saying with all that mistakes that has been happening in South Sudan, now is a time for us to say bygone is bygone.